Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Catherine Maedeman, and today we are in Beaufort at Basecamp. It's the Beaufort Digital Corridor, and I have to tell you what a beautiful facility this is. Our guest today will be Shelley Barrett, who's the Executive Director, Keith McLeveen, Founder, CTO of Wave Sciences, and Alex Kraus, COO, LifeLauncher. So what I like about the show, you're going to learn about technologies, we're going to learn about people starting new businesses, so stay right with us. This is 843 TV, where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where the Low Country comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak. And I'm with Shelley Barrett, who is the Executive Director here at Basecamp. And where is Basecamp? Well, it's in the Beaufort Digital Corridor. What a beautiful facility that we have here. So Shelley, do tell me, what is Basecamp?
So Basecamp is our kind of tech hub here in Beaufort. The Beaufort Digital Corridor is the entity. We're a public-private nonprofit that's on the economic development arm here in Beaufort to really bring up tech in the area. Maybe people don't think about tech when they hear Beaufort, but it's here.
And that is exciting because, you think of it as a coastal town. We usually think, something techie is somewhere else in a desert somewhere.
Right.
So what are we doing to entice businesses to come to Beaufort? What are you offering them?
Well, here at Basecamp, what this is both an incubator and a co-working office space. And office space for remote workers and that sort of a thing. So what we offer to start with is the space itself, which is in downtown Beaufort. And so it's very accessible from the waterfront, maybe from the boats, from the marina, and of course all access to all the restaurants and the lovely things that we have here in Beaufort. But we have offices that are short-term lease that are geared really towards tech entrepreneurs. So they can come in, do what they need to do. They don't have to commit to a brick and mortar until they have grown their company to where they need to be. We also have some remote workers that might do maybe digital marketing or something like that, that just need a space to work. We've had everything in here from telemedicine to the digital marketing, web design, and then we have true startups like a software startup and a hearing technology startup. We also have had some college entrepreneurs come in over the summer, and that's one of the programs we'll talk about. And so we've had a variety of people through here. The other side is the co-working, and that's where we have people come in from all walks of life. We have people driving through town, coming in for a day or two. We have people that are coming through the Intercoastal Waterway on the boat, come and co-work with us for a couple of days. Maybe someone's here for a couple of months and they need a spot to touch down.
And I like that aspect. Before we went on camera, I know Shelley and I were talking about that. Seriously, a couple of people came off their boats and came in and had a meeting.
Yeah.
And isn't that really unique? I mean, the location is extraordinary. It's a beautiful community,
Yep.
number one. Two, it's nice to think that the community is being forward-thinking. And, technology is what we want to know, and that's what we have to understand. So when they come in, you can rent your spaces, you can have them as long as you like, monthly by month?
So if you're co-working, there's drop-in daily, weekly, and then we do have subscription rates, whether or not you come in part-time or full-time. There's some folks that work from home and they just need to get away, several days per month, and they can do that. The other way that somebody that's involved in tech locally could do that is if they become a member, they can come in, drop in from time to time. Right now, Fridays are free, so it's our free co-working Fridays if you want to try it out. But the residents actually sign a lease, and even though it's month to month, it's a little bit more of a commitment because hopefully where we're going with this is to see more actual tech startups.
Yeah, I love that. And now, do you offer outreach programs as well to the community? Let's say somebody is looking to start up a program or a business. You give them resources, how to put a P&L together, how to give that information so they know where to start.
So we may not be as specific as that. There are obviously other organizations in town that really cover that, the small business
Yep.
and other mentor type things. But we're very focused on tech. So long answer is yes, but. So we actually are helping the tech entrepreneurs do all those things because it's a very specialized process if you're involved in tech. So that's what we're focusing on, and we have had some classes that address that exact thing. So far we're fairly new, happened through our partnership with USCB, and so working with their computer science and or their business departments, we are able to do a tech entrepreneur series, and it kind of goes through the process of starting up a company, what it takes, and then maybe how to make it go. So that's as far as that goes, as far, actually.
If you're walking by, I highly recommend to come in because there's just a good energy. As soon as I walked in this morning when I met you, first of all, I feel your passion for your position. You've been here for a couple of years now.
I came in at the end of 2017. The Charleston Digital Corridor, who helped us get started, along with a couple of folks from the city manager and a city council member, Stephen Murray, who's one of our board members. So Ernest with the Charleston Digital Corridor was helping through the transition and getting us started. And I came in to just help them out a little bit. And then the position opened up, and here you go. So when I first started, we also created our Beaufort board. And so it was kind of a new team in that it was myself and our 5-member board at the time. We do have a 6th member now. So that's kind of that background quickly.
Well, I think you're in a safe place when somebody comes in here. It's wonderful. Let me ask you this. How do they find out information about you? What's the best way? Website?
Website for sure. You can find us on Google. Everybody does, and that's how we've had some coworkers come in. But our website is BeaufortDigital.com. BeaufortDigital.com. All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me, and such success to you and everybody here. It's great. Thank you.
And we'll be right back with 843 TV. And we are back with 843 TV. I am with Keith McLeveen, who is the CEO of Wave Sciences. And I'm really excited about what you do. I mean, we're talking a little bit off camera, but because of the science that's all involved with the auditory areas in life. So first tell me, what is your company and what are you doing with it?
Well, we work in hearing. My background is in forensic science, audio forensics specifically, coming out of the Cold War doing war crimes investigations. And over the years it became obvious that pulling one voice out of a cocktail party recording is a lot like someone who is partially deaf, has some hearing loss in one ear or both ears, trying to hear in a crowd.
Off camera, I also shared with him I do have a hearing loss. So, I mean, if he can create a hearing aid that helps the condition, like we were talking about the low tones and how it is difficult for that person to hear, but it applies much to your science, what you're doing presently. So what are you doing differently that other people are not doing? I mean.
Well, one of the things we're doing is moving the microphones away from the hearing aid.
Okay.
Right, so working with the hearing aid that's there, or an earbud or headphones, when you move the microphones away, you can get some other advantages, like being able to turn the volume up louder without getting that embarrassing feedback squeal. We all know it from, the high school auditorium with the principal standing in front of the speaker.
Right. So how do you apply this technology? Where are we going with this? Because you are in you've been working at this for a couple of years now, and you're
actually longer than that. Been here in Beaufort about a year and a half.
Okay.
Right. But we started in Charleston, and that's where our government research and development is done. So we work with the military and other services for search and rescue and battlefield acoustics, that type of thing, hearing in noisy situations. And when the BDC opened, we decided to set up an office down here to kind of be the spearhead of our consumer products. You've got a good community here where we can find lots of test subjects to trial our devices on.
Sounds like I should be a test subject. So tell me, how do you apply it to the people, you know, the public, rather than being a military? How do you apply it to us? What are we doing?
Well, we've got two different initiatives underway. One is in a wearable garment. So you would actually have tiny microphones sewn into an undergarment. Maybe for a woman it would be a camisole, or for a man it would be a t-shirt. And the microphones would talk to your hearing aid. So they would catch the sound here and then relay it after it's been cleaned up to your ear. Then also, neither one of us have smartphones out right now, but we also do microphones in the covers, the little accessory cases you'll put on your phone or on your tablet, so that students in class that might be have some hearing loss can hear their teacher up at the whiteboard who's, you know, facing and scribbling, talking away from the person with the hearing loss.
This is great news. So how do we find you? How do they bring it into the community? How do we buy it? I mean, is it available?
Not available yet. We're still in the product concept development stage, but we've got working devices, experimental devices, and we're trying out different things and looking at how we interact with the hearing aid, the best ways to do it, Bluetooth or other ways, and then trying to set up some relationships with the hearing aid manufacturers and the consumer electronic companies, which is another reason why we're here. The head of the digital corridor, Kevin Klingler, is from the audio industry. He ran a successful audio company out on the West Coast, sold out of that, moved to Beaufort, and now we've got someone here who's been there and done that to help advise us.
Oh, isn't that interesting? So where do you think you're going to be in 2 years from now? I mean, are we going to have it into the marketplace?
I certainly hope so.
And are we going to, I mean, I'm just excited personally because we're talking about, you know, the hearing, and that's something important for me, and to have that technology, but is it much different than what we presently have in technology? Are you bringing something new that's not there yet?
Well, the things that are out there right now are more remote microphones, say like a wireless mic that we're wearing. So you give it to the person and it relays the sound maybe to a streamer onto the hearing aid. This kind of takes that need for cooperation of the other person out of the loop, and it's less socially awkward, because if I've got the hearing loss, I'm just sitting here talking to you and you don't even know. As small as hearing aids are getting now, we could have an hour conversation. You might not ever even realize I've got hearing loss.
Yeah, well, that's terrific. I'm excited about that news. So let's move forward a little bit more with the Basecamp. And now you find this has been a wonderful environment for you to come to. You work out of your office here. What do you think they've done for the community so far?
Well, it's really nice, particularly for budding entrepreneurs. You know, we had already started, but particularly for budding entrepreneurs, it takes down some of the barriers to getting started. There's lots of things when you're trying to build a business, and selling what you're doing is probably the number one thing to get revenue. But when you've got to worry about getting a phone and Wi-Fi and an office and everything else, business contacts, tax licenses, all those little things get in the way of getting revenue. So I think the BDC offers a lot there, and including the experience, the been there, done that experience. In our case, like I said, it ends up being an attractive way for us to come in without going out and renting a large space that we don't quite need yet, because we're young here in Beaufort. It lets us come in, work with people who know what's going on, and get some guidance and get introduced to the community. And it's ideal for us.
Well, that's terrific. Well, it's been joyful to meet you, Keith. I wish you success in the development of your product, and I think the public wants this, so I'm on your side for that. So thank you. We'll be right back with more 843 TV. And welcome back to 843 TV. And I am now with Alex Krause, who's the COO of LifeLauncher. And it's really an interesting program because you are a student at the College of Charleston studying data analysis or?
Yeah, so I'm a double major of data science and economics.
Okay. All right, and so you are now here at Basecamp for the summer because you are here to do something. What?
Yeah, so the second semester at the College of Charleston, me and my company mates, we all go there, and we got accepted into a program called Impact X. And so what that is it's an accelerator through the college where we get credits for it as a class, and they essentially train you to come up with an idea and how to flesh it out into something that you can pitch. And that was excellent because it really helped us come up with, we're called LifeLauncher. And I'll get into what we do a little bit later, but that program at C of C helped us develop the vision that we want to have for what we're going to do. And the end of that class there's a pitch competition called Demo Day. And one of our judges was the BDC's vice chair, Matt D'Angelo.
Okay.
And so he listened to our pitch. Thankfully, he liked our idea as much as we do. And we got sponsored to come down here and spend our summer turning our idea into a reality.
Well, isn't that nice? What is your pitch? What is the subject? Tell us.
Yeah, so we're a company called LifeLauncher, and in a nutshell, it's for aspiring college students who want to see the financial results of the decisions that they'll make regarding college. So someone who wants to use our service will go on, create a profile, and just give us some general information, what schools are you interested in, do you have to take out a student loan, all that good stuff, and then we'll take all of that and factor in the choices that they want to make. So they can essentially run an audit of what they could envision themselves doing with college. So I could go on and say, I can see how much money I'll be making after school based on the loan I take out for if I'm an English major, computer science major, political science major, and I can go back through, change all that information, and see where it'll put me after I graduate.
I think that's a great idea because, when you're in school, you're busy educating yourself and you keep adding the loans on. And by the time you graduate school, you're looking for a job and sometimes it's not where you want to be, but then all of a sudden your loans kick in. Now what, right? And then what do we do next? And so, and you have to maybe you're looking for a career that pays a certain amount as well. If you want to achieve a certain salary range, this is all a barometer. All these filling these columns out will give us that information.
Yeah, and it's no secret that student loan debt is one of the biggest problems that we're having in this country. And our main goal is not necessarily getting people to do what will put them in the best financial situation, but showing them how they can maximize or minimize, I guess I should say, the debt that they have when they graduate and still continue to do what they love. As
you're creating this project, do you have people participating now? Do you have classmates? Are they how are they participating with this? How are you getting your data? How are you going to do your thesis? How are you going to create this?
Yeah, so all the data that we're getting is from the Department of Education and the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And we've countless spreadsheets that have been a pain to sort through, but thankfully we've had classmates that we can use as well for surveys that we run to get a general idea of, one of the best parts about starting this up in college is that the people that we're trying to target our product to are, we have 10,000 of them surrounding us every day.
Right. I love that idea. I think it's great. Now, what do you think about Basecamp? How has it been for the experience here?
Yeah, it's been great. We got down here at the beginning of June, and it's been excellent. So at C of C, we spent so much time developing our idea. But down here, it turned into a real world thing.
Yeah.
All of the operational paperwork that you have to do. We've had excellent mentors helping us with stuff like the business plan, marketing plans, and all the stuff that you don't necessarily think about when you're coming up with an idea. The amount of work that we've gotten done here has been, I couldn't even have imagined where we would be when we began this.
And I want to point out, that Alex is a sophomore in college. This is a wonderful time to get this information versus being out of college and all of a sudden going, oh no, now what am I going to do with my life, right?
Exactly.
So I love it. Your enthusiasm is terrific. Now tell me about, what is the Life Work Mentor Program? Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so we've been sponsored for the office space through the Rotary Club of the Low Country.
Okay.
And we've been sponsored for housing by USCB. And the Live Work Mentor program has been all through the digital corridor. And so that's been, when I'm talking about the mentorship and all the help that we've been getting, all the resources that we have available, the Live Work Mentor program is the all-encompassing term for all of that we've been provided.
How many of you are on your team here? How many of you in your office now?
So right now it is 3 of us.
Okay.
We have a 4th member. He was here earlier in June, but now he's on study abroad at
Are
Spain.
you each taking different roles in this business?
Yeah.
And what's your role?
Well, for now we're all pretty much wearing all the hats, trying to
Okay.
get it off the ground. But me, I've been doing research, development. I've been helping a lot with the back-end database stuff, and it's all that good stuff.
You know, Alex, it's been terrific to meet you. I wish you so much success. I mean, what a great time in your life, and you know, being here in Beaufort for the summer is not so bad either, is it? You know. Well, thank you so much, and this is 843 TV, where communities come to speak.